Let me get 2 regular Tylenols.
How old is it? Huh? Huh? How old is it? How old are you? Me? Yeah.
24.
That's my daughter. You told me my son. My daughter's 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cash, right? Or stamps?
Cash.
What happened? I got black music. Huh? No. This is Christian music. It
Oh.
make you relax. It make you relax. Like for example, you see what you listen to the Quran,
Yeah.
it make you calm down. This music, so, they're talking about God. And the word, you need that thing, and the word. They're talking about God. It's not worship music. No. Like you go on the sky, you listen to the thing.
All right. It's supposed to be 70 degrees today. Because it's going to be like this and then it's going to get real hot. But I think today is going to be the hottest day. Today's going to be the hottest day. Sunday going to be cold. Going to be in the low 50s. Tomorrow's going to, I think, hit in, I think it's supposed to hit the 60s. So today and tomorrow are going to be a good day. So I'm going to go see Tracy today. Yeah. Nobody else ain't going to see him. I mean, y'all probably say, well, that's your job. You're supposed to go see him. Well, hey, you're right about that. But, you know, I shouldn't be the only one that care for him. But I know people hold stuff, so they be like, well, he treated me this way. He treated me like this. He treated me like that. So I ain't going to visit him. All right, to each of them. He treated me. We won't even get into the ways he treated me. But just like I said in my message, no matter what goes down, no matter what happens, no matter what he do or don't do, he's still my husband. And I have to be devoted to him. And my devotion is not based on this floor is mad sticky. I gotta mop it. I don't know, something still leaves. Oh. And I guess I'm the only one. Yeah, I can put my teeth in there. I guess I'm the only one who feels it. I wish I didn't really get into take my money. Because there was a time when it did. There was a time when it did. It was all about, it was all about, about the designer. All about that, Dinah.
Street Station over there in Brooklyn, and that some type of smoke device was set off, which is evident from the videos that are now being shown on most of the stations. The complexity of this is there was apparently also shooting victims, and the latest report I've seen is that there's 14 people sent to hospital. How many of those are shooting victims versus others who might have been trauma, unknown at the moment. At the moment, the NYPD, FBI are attempting to put enough information together to do a preliminary press conference where some facts will be made available. A lot of it will still be preliminary. And hopefully, as they try to do, they'll try to get press conference together very quickly to get out at least preliminary detail and calm people down. They're trying to put a frame around this incident. It's going to be a very confusing day because the complexity of our subway system, a lot of these lines will have to be shut down as part of the investigation. And so New York's in for a very long, confusing day today.
And there's so much fear, Commissioner, as you might imagine, and there was fear in the subways that have been leading up to this day, just of your typical crime that so many people have seen really get out of control over the last several.
This incident. How many of those, at least, confusion about what?
Watching the events that
are on an active.
Let me see what happened.
You will have predicted.
Kai is
Going.
okay. Train that pulled in, coming northbound, pulled into the station while we saw those passengers fleeing, and that smoke.
Oh my
A
God.
major hub
Multiple
in Sunset
people
Park.
shot
People transfer
in
every
subway
morning from the.
in Brooklyn.
But this is definitely a day where New Yorkers are probably not going to be bragging about how great their commute was. They're just happy to be okay, happy to be getting off trains, and of course, as we just told you, it's definitely good news that you don't have thousands of people who are out of communication right now, because everyone was at least able to make it into a station. There you can see where it happened, the 36th Street station where the D, N, and the R all intersect. It's a major hub in Sunset Park. People transfer every morning from the local to the express to speed up their commute into Manhattan. And again, after that incident today, they stopped service in both directions, but they were able to get everybody out at nearby stations while they were waiting for that, Darlene.
Now, Andrew, do we know, and I you may have mentioned this or jumped.
Because everyone was in a situation where
Let me see if I can get what
Subway
happened.
impact
Our concern.
thing from the
Breaking,
school.
I see smoke and all this stuff. Like we got an attack.
Guadalupe.
At 8:26.
That war, people keep talking about the war coming from Iran or Ukraine or whoever. And it's supposed to be coming to us.
Inside, we're live right now. It actually took us quite a while to get to the hospital, making sure that
The morning goes
Can't
on.
see.
We
I guess it'll be
offer
all right
any
to show
assistance
y'all.
as needed. Now, it should be worth noting that Mayor Eric Adams has been diagnosed with COVID and he is isolating, so presumably not on the scene right here at the scene
whether it's
I'm trying to get, maybe it's the whole thing.
now in total. What's the subway.
36th Street.
Fine.
I don't
To
travel
get
over there.
bus net, all technology.
I take the N and the R, but
We're being told.
that's well, I do travel over there.
No,
Cause that's the stop before my nail salon.
YPD
It's
actual
36th
device and then
Street,
proceeded
and then
to
I think
we
it's
appreciate
Steinway.
The suspect wouldn't.
this happened.
Okay, so we gotta go all the way to the beginning.
Create the
Darlene, you're right. Already mentioned it was
Scared. I'm
you were closing this house.
Oh my goodness, I tell you.
request
I don't think they
Throughout.
don't gotta go over
Because
there. That's the problem.
The end holds
No
more
defense,
seriously. They can
no
let people off.
anything,
And it,
no
uh,
nothing.
What height?
I want to go. I guess I gotta go to the beginning to see exactly what happened.
and when units
Oh, look.
smoke grenade.
multiple
No,
agents
can't really
that
see,
can
right?
have multiple
Because of
major
the war.
interchange in
Alright.
Sunset Park. What we know now from this investigation is that the shooter is on the loose. The shooter fled in an unknown location, an unknown direction. I should say they are looking for somebody who we are told is 175 pounds, black male, wearing an orange construction vest and perhaps some sort of official clothing. It's unknown where it is that he went, what the motive was. We have multiple people injured, 13. The extent of the injuries not specifically known, but multiple people were shot, and we've seen very disturbing photos of people in the subway applying tourniquets to each other to try to stem that blood loss. We had heard that there were other subway stations involved. What we've learned now is that when this shooting unfolded, some people actually got on the subway train and fled to the next station and got off there. So you can only imagine the confusion and the chaos that was caused. And we're looking at one of these photos now. There are people on the subway station helping each other and trying to apply those tourniquets. So we have a mass casualty incident, multiple people shot this morning during the morning rush hour in the train station there at 36th Street in Sunset Park. What we know now, the response, the ATF, the FBI, NYPD's Joint Counterterrorism Task Force, all with multiple agencies involved, a massive, massive mobilization at this hour. We want to bring back Chief Investigative Reporter Jonathan Deans with some new information. John.
You know, the very latest we have, and again, it's all preliminary, but the latest information we have is that 5 people have been shot, 2 of them seriously injured in this shooting this morning that took place during the morning rush. There's some reports that the suspect may have thrown some sort of smoke bomb or smoke grenade in the subway as he was carrying out this shooting attack. And then he fled that 36th Street subway station. Unclear which direction. We've heard reports he jumped in the tunnel. We've heard other suggestions that he just ran out onto the street. So the search for that suspect
So
is
is that a
ongoing.
terrorist
The
attack?
motive for this
Lord,
shooting incident is unclear. Why he opened fire on commuters during the morning rush. We have not heard any sort of explanation. Investigators are speaking with witnesses, trying to sort through everything that took place. They're also going through surveillance cameras to try to see if they can document and get a good image of the suspected shooter. There you see a photo of some of the wounded on the ground, as well as a live picture of many of the responding units at the scene. But as of now, the suspect has not been caught. And again, he is described as 5'5", 5'6", about 175 pounds, armed with some sort of armed with a gun, perhaps carrying some sort of construction bag or sports sack as well. And that it is a lone gunman who they believe is responsible for this incident on the subway this morning. And the search is very much underway. NYPD has the lead with FBI, ATF, Homeland Security Investigations all on scene assisting. FDNY helping treat and evacuate many who were wounded. Miles Miller, my colleague, has the number at 13, which is about 5 people then shot and 8 others injured in the stampede. And they are canvassing hospitals to try to determine if others self-evacuated and went to the hospital for treatment on their own. So the numbers can and will change. They may go up, they may go down as police sort this situation out. Again, there were some very early initial reports that 2 subway incidents were underway, but as you explained, Darlene, the shooting incident happened in one, and then some people fleeing took trains to the next stop to try to get away and get out to safety. The good news, no fatalities as of now. Again, the 5 people who are shot, these are injuries, although 2 of them, we are told, are in serious condition. That's the very latest. Back to you.
All right, John, we appreciate that. That was our Jonathan Dietz reporting there. We'll check back in with him for sure. We want to head back to the scene. News 4's John Chandler is there on the scene. John, I don't know if you got to hear Chief Monahan talking just a few minutes ago, but what he was saying to us is this is something we always feared in the NYPD, somebody walking into a crowded subway and opening fire. And as you mentioned earlier, this was during rush hour.
Darlene, I did hear Chief Monahan's comments there, and yes, this is a rush hour time. This is a very busy residential neighborhood, and in that hour of the day, there were a lot of people, myself included, who are out dropping off kids at school, making sure they get to work, out and about already for the morning. You did mention that you were hearing from law enforcement sources that they were combing through the tunnels of the subways, potentially looking for devices. I can confirm from law enforcement sources here on the scene that that is in fact what they are doing right now. We were down at 36th and 4th, right by the subway stop by the stairs as you come up from underneath onto 4th Avenue. They moved us back a block for that very reason, explaining that they are underneath us right now, patrolling through the area. So just to be safe, they have moved everyone back a block. That could extend. They could move us an additional block or more blocks as they continue to patrol underneath us in the subway station and in the tunnels that are underneath us. I want to pan around here and give you an idea of this neighborhood. I mean, there's an elementary school right there, PS 24, about 6 blocks from the scene to the north is another elementary school. Again, it is a very residential neighborhood, and that is a terrifying ordeal that parents have to go through as their kids are dropped off. Just yesterday, I was supposed to get on this subway line to go take my kids on a field trip to the aquarium. It is a heavily trafficked line, and at that time of day especially. It's just very concerning, as you see, for all the residents who have stepped out of their homes, stepped out of restaurants and coffee shops and delis along here to just kind of get a glimpse of the scene and see what is going on and see if they can get any information. A lot of concern and a lot of fear in this neighborhood right now this morning, Darlene.
And John, as you mentioned, so many families and just people going about their business. And before we bring in Andrew Sipp, Andrew mentioned a while ago that some of these trains ended up sort of stuck in between tunnels, or in between stops, I should say, in the tunnel, and that means no communication, no cell phone service. So I can only imagine the fear, and you as a parent and as somebody who's in the neighborhood thinking about not being able to reach somebody that you know who may be stuck.
Yeah. Well, and that is why law enforcement officials are going down into those tunnels. They're trying to get to people who are in those trains. They're trying to not just look for clues and look for any more potential threats of danger, but they're also trying to get to those people who are on the trains and make sure they know at least that they are safe. And try and clear this scene as much as they possibly can. But right now, you can see, looking straight down 4th Avenue. I mean, it was 10 blocks blocked off when I got here, down to 26th Street. You can see it extend far down 4th Avenue to the north as you approach Greenwood Heights through that neighborhood, and then Park Slope and the Gowanus neighborhoods as it borders 4th Avenue. So an incredibly active, massive response here from law enforcement and first responders here this morning, Darlene.
Certainly a massive response. All right, John Chandler there in Sunset Park. John, thank you very much. News 4's Andrew Sipp is in the newsroom with more on this subway impact. So, Andrew, it's not so much of